Hi and welcome to Prototype. We will be solving the problem for LeetCode 392 is subsequence. This is another problem in the LeetCode 75 study plan. Let's read the description. So given two strings s and t, return true if s is a subsequence of t or false otherwise. And a subsequence of a string is a new string that is formed from the original string by deleting some or none, of the characters without disturbing the relative positions of the remaining characters. So they give the example that ace is a subsequence of A, B, C, D, E because you can delete B and D to get A, C, E in order. Okay, well, let's just get to it. So since what are we trying to do here? We're trying to build, you could say, we're trying to build or find S in T. If we can find S in T, then we're done. So that means that if T, for whatever reason, was smaller than S, then it would fail in any case, right? We don't really have to do our algorithm that's the case. So if T dot length is less than S dot length, return false. Because obviously if S is larger than T, we could never build S from T by deleting characters in T. Okay. So let's go with this attempt to build the string. So let's make a variable. Let's call it underscore s. And we'll need to keep track of the pointers. So we'll need a pointer in s, and then we'll need a pointer in t, because we'll be walking along t to see if we can find the next character in s. So let's do that. Let's call it s index, and it will start at 0. And then for the t pointer, we can just use the loop variable. So let's say for let I equals 0, I less than t dot length, I plus plus. And then again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to build s. Okay, so what are we going to return? Return a Boolean. We can return if we've built s. So if our s that we're trying to build is equal to s, then we'll return true. If this is true, otherwise it'll return false. Okay, so now let's think of a condition in the for loop. If we find the subsequence early, we'll want to break out. So if this was ABC and then it was ABC, AHB, whatever, we'd want to break out of this loop as soon as we can. So let's do the same thing. So if we've built S, then we can just return. Okay, otherwise, what are we trying to do? We're trying to see if we can find the current character in S in T. So if the S index is equal to the T, so that's the string T, and then I is the pointer that we're using for the T. So if we find the character, then great, let's append the character to what we're trying to build. Let's call it T of I, it could be SS index, doesn't really matter, right? And then let's increment our S index, because we found the character. So here we found A, so we can mark A off. We're now pointing at B. Our loop, I will run. Is H B? No. Is B B? Yes. So we found a match, right? So that's kind of how this is working. And then that's it, really. We're just going to run along the string, right? And then if we build it early, then we'll return true. Otherwise, we'll go to the length of t, and then we'll check at the very end. Did we build the string, right? This is just returning the Boolean expression, so evaluate to true or false, right? And so that's that. Now, in terms of time complexity, we've done this in a single loop, no inner loop, so it's linear time. But we're building a string, so it's also linear space. Well, we actually don't need to build the string. We can just keep track of the index. We can just keep track of the index. If our index gets all the way to the end and builds out S, it will have the same length as S. So, or rather, I should say, the end position, right, would be the same as the length of S. We'll look at the example again. So, A, do we find A? We found A. So we go from 0 to 1. Okay, da 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 da. Found B. 1 becomes 2, right? Da 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 da. C. And we found C. So now our S index is 3, and S's length is also 3. Let's check in the negative case. A. Do we find A? Yes. So our S index is 1. Next, we're looking for X. We run to the end. We never found another matching character. So our S index is stuck at 1, and our S length is 3. So let's try that. Of course, to fix this. So again, same thing. So if we find the answer early, just return true. Of course, we need to update this condition. And there we go. So we'll submit that, and done. And so that is the solution to 392 is subsequence. As you can see here, it is linear time, and we've only allocated one variable. All right, subscribe to see more. We'll be doing the rest of the LeetCode 75 study plan questions in short order. Thank you, and see you next time.